Well, the NHL and Gary Bettman said over the weekend at the commissioner's press conference at the Stanley Cup Finals that I want Arizona to stay in Arizona. Don't ask me why. They've had no success as a franchise. They've had to move buildings a couple of times. They've been an afterthought on the radar of the fans. They've lost money. They've been through at least 4 ownership groups, including one that involved Wayne Gretzky, and they just made very little progress. They've stockpiled a lot of picks, got a lot of young players, but hasn't equated to winning. And, last year they played because their arena lease ran out, and it was such a mess where they were in Glendale. They moved, and they played their home games at a tiny arena on the Arizona State campus.
Wow.
And they sold out 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the NHL, 5,000.
No,
NHL is 21,000 at Air Canada Center for the Maple Leafs, or
Mm-hmm.
what they're doing in Edmonton or Montreal. It's not 5,000. And now they just had a ballot to build a new arena in Tempe and was voted down. So now they're back to square one. Gary Bettman says, we are going to come up with an arena plan, and we're going to keep this team here. Why would you keep it there when nobody seems to care? The response was, there's 3.5 million people that live here, and once this gets good, it's going to be supported again. But I mean, the Phoenix market is so overwhelmed. You got the failing NFL team. You got the Suns, who are disappointing. You got the Diamondbacks, who have now rebuilt. Last I checked, Diamondbacks are almost tied with the Dodgers for first place, and it pisses you off as a Padre fan. So, and you got the Sun Devils. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, a market is really jammed with franchises there in the Valley of the Sun. Why would you keep it there when you've got Quebec City built a new Olympic arena? And Quebec is a hotbed of hockey, and Quebec's a different province now than it was 20 years ago when the Quebec Nordique had to move and became the Colorado Avalanche. Why would you not go to Quebec City? I don't care about the exchange rate between the Canadian dollar and the US dollar. Why would you not go to Quebec City? Why would you not go to Houston, which is exploding and has a new arena and had hockey back in the day? Today's the 50th anniversary of Gordie Howe and his 2 sons signing with the Houston Aeros that made the World Hockey Association. Why not Houston? There's a theory that Atlanta has grown and they've got a new arena, and Atlanta might be given another chance, though they had the Flames and they had the Thrashers. There's a group in Salt Lake City. There's a group in Portland. They built a new arena in Kansas City. It's never had an NHL tenant. It's got a pretty decent minor league hockey team. Why wouldn't you go to some of these other markets rather than try to stay in Arizona, where there is no success story at all? So that's where it is. And what's complicated it, the union has now gotten involved. The Players Association has gone to the league and said, this is unfair to our clients. You put them in this bad situation. They've had bad ownership, bad teams, bad arenas. You made them play in a 5,000-seat college arena with no skyboxes. That's unfair to the players. So the union is pushing for the NHL to allow the Coyotes to transfer somewhere else. In my heart, I'm sorry, I got a little Molson's beer in me. My heart says they should go to Quebec City because that's a hell of a hockey market. It's a great regional market, and it'd be great right next door to Ottawa and just down the turnpike from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And by the way, the Montreal Canadiens are there to hate on also. So that's what I would do if I were a king, but I'm not king right now. But now the union is really pushing this boulder up the hill, calling up Bettman, saying it's time to change this. Go ahead.
I think Phoenix has just been this hot market that everyone wants to capitalize on. So maybe they just don't want to admit defeat, or maybe they know that if they can't make it work in Phoenix, they won't have a chance to come back. But Quebec makes a lot of sense. I mean, they're going to get a sold out arena every game in Quebec.
And the building was built. It was built for an expansion team, and they didn't get it. It wound up going to Vegas and Seattle. So I feel bad for the Arizona people and for the Arizona players. Last topic